Wednesday, the 13th of April is the date, and it's the midweek edition of Primetime News. A warm welcome to you. I'm Michael Madimba. As we always call upon you, if it's your first time joining us, please subscribe, press the like button, and be sure to click on the bell icon to stay abreast with the latest local and global news. We begin at State House, where President Dr. Hage Geingob delivered the 42nd COVID-19 national response measures earlier this afternoon. The head of state announced that the current public health measures remain unchanged and extended for a period of 30 days.
Fellow Namibians, the current dispensation, which came into effect for a period of 30 days from 16th March 2022, will lapse on 16th April 2022 at midnight. All public health measures remain unchanged and are therefore extended for a period of 30 days until 15th May 2022. All public health measures remain unchanged and are therefore extended for a period of 30 days until 15th May 2022. Our country has been devastated by the impacts of COVID-19 on our health, social and economic well-being. The government has maintained its priority to safeguard Namibian lives and livelihoods. Therefore, please obey the rules for your own good, for your own good, your own health. Obey the rules, please. We should continue with the drive to increase vaccinations in order to achieve herd immunity. This will not only limit severe illness and hospitalization, but will also instill confidence in the economy, specifically the tourism and hospitality sectors, which have been negatively affected by COVID-19.
Moving on to a topical story. Finance Minister Ipumbu Shimi said many Namibians have no appetite to save before retirement, placing a burden on the state to sustain them beyond the age of 55. Shimi was responding to what has now been termed as pension grab in the public domain. Edward Mumbu Jr. filed this report. It has been proposed for members of retirement funds to preserve at least 75% of their minimum individual reserve until the age of 55, effective the 1st of October 2022 based on the current draft. This specific regulation has been met with sheer consternation, with many Namibians feeling the government is grabbing their pension funds. Shimi, however, says the contrary is true. I would like to reiterate that the main purpose of a retirement fund is to accumulate and grow savings to provide an income to the member when they retire, or otherwise to the member's dependents if the member passes away before the set retirement date, he told the National Assembly. In the Namibian context, he opined, the history of preservation is very poor. This is attributed to a myriad of challenges, including the high cost of living, household indebtedness, high levels of unemployment and slowing growth in assets, which have placed retirement planning low on the priority list for most people. This, he said, has long-term ramifications. At an aggregate level, low retirement savings increase the future burden on the state due to more people becoming dependent on social grants and public services, he added. This is why a larger proportion of retirement funds must be preserved throughout the working lifetime of an individual, resulting in increased security after retirement. Shimi emphasized that the regulations are still in draft form, calling interested parties to provide their submission to the Namibia Financial Institutions Supervisory Authority. Now, the Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism over the weekend intercepted a truck full of unprocessed timber in Windhoek intended for export to South Africa. The ministry spokesperson Romeo Muyunda, in a media statement, revealed that 1,500 planks on the truck are in the ministry's possession. He added that the transport permit has temporarily been suspended pending further investigations in order to establish the origins of the timber as well as the legal acquisition thereof. On to health matters. The Ministry of Health and Social Services yesterday announced that it will issue COVID-19 digital vaccination certificates soon. This announcement follows an indication by South Africa that vaccination cards will no longer be accepted and that travelers are required to present vaccination certificates for entry into the neighboring country. Isabel Bento compiled the story.
The Ministry of Health and Social Services, in collaboration with the Africa Union and Africa Center for Disease Control and Prevention, and with technical support from Panabios Consortium, has implemented an online system to authenticate and verify travelers' COVID-19 certificates. This system was launched in November 2021. In addition, the Ministry has been collaborating with Panabios as the technical lead to further customize the trusted vaccine as an additional interdependent package used to issue digital vaccination certificates. This process has progressed very well. We are working to officially launch the implementation of the digital vaccination certificate in the next 2 weeks or so. We have engaged our South African counterpart regarding a notice informing travelers to be in possession of vaccination certificate and not vaccinating cards for entry into South Africa, or to present a negative PCR test result obtained not later than 72 hours prior to travel. We have updated them on our situation and have requested them for an interim relief.
Kindly stand by for your top roundup. National development headlines this segment. Prime Minister Sarah Kuongelo-Amadila in Parliament on Monday motivated the Office of the Prime Minister's proposed budget vote of 394 million Namibian dollars, which will be used for operational and developmental expenditure. Let's get the details from this report compiled by Isabel Bento.
The vote budget for the previous financial year was 397,598,000 Namibian dollars. The expenditure for the year was 383,773,629 dollars, translating into a budget execution of 96.5%. The OPM continues to coordinate the activities of the High-Level Committee on the Second Land Conference. The committee meets quarterly to review implementation of the Second Land Conference resolutions. To date, of the 176 resolutions, 25 resolutions have been fully executed, while implementation of the 132 other resolutions is ongoing. The rest of the resolutions were already dealt with at the time the conference adopted them. In the area of disaster risk management, government conducted the vulnerability assessment and analysis, as is done every year. The outcome of this assessment was that drought conditions will continue in the Kunene region and parts of Erongo and Umsati regions. And as a result, Cabinet approved a drought relief program for these regions with a budget of 160.3 million Namibian dollars. The approved drought relief programs caters for 35,000 households in Kunene region, 4,000 households in Erongo region, and 10,000 households in Umsati region. As part of resilience building, the government approved funding under the National Emergency Disaster Fund for drilling, installation, and rehabilitation of 52 boreholes in the 3 regions. 11 boreholes were sunk in Kunene regions or are to be sunk in that region, and an additional 27 million Namibian dollars was availed for a pipeline from Ohamaremba to Okangwati.
Minister of Industrialization and Trade Lucia Ipumbu has implored the SACCO member states to reflect on policy innovations that will enable value addition. Linia Dishena compiled this report.
Speaking at a two-day SACCO Ministerial Investment Roundtable in Gaborone, Botswana on Tuesday, Ipumbu said there is a need to investigate further opportunities around trade enhancement that will flourish in member states to enable more value addition through the development of regional and bilateral value chains. The first ever investment roundtable for SACCO aims to showcase investment opportunities in selected priority sectors across the SACCO region, such as textiles and clothing, pharmaceuticals, cosmetics and essential oils, as well as agro-processing, especially leather and leather products, meat products, fruits and vegetables. Ipumbu said Namibia aims to mainly participate fully in sectors such as beef, horticulture and agro-processing, noting that the cosmetics and essential oil sector have advanced in terms of production domestically and therefore participation in the regional value chain is possible. She indicated that Namibia's exportable firms increased from 5 in 2016 to more than 35 by 2021 through concerted efforts by the government and the development partners.
Stay tuned for your economics roundup followed by the weather forecast. Sport Planet brings to the fore for you all things sport. We commence the segment by rocking our way into rugby. The national under-20 rugby team successfully overcame host nation Kenya to qualify for the final of the Bartus Trophy underway at the Nyayo National Stadium in Nairobi, Kenya. Namibia, who had a well-executed plan, beat two-time Bartus Trophy defending champions Kenya 15-0 to book themselves a spot in the final that will be contested on Sunday. On to school sports. Namibia School Sports Union National Coordinator Soli Deker says his organization will be sending a team to participate in the inaugural COSAFA Schools Cup, scheduled for Durban from the 22nd of October to the 6th of November 2022. Speaking to Nampa earlier today, Deker says the tournament has been assigned to the Namibia School Sports Union by the Ministry of Sport, Youth and National Service, the Namibia Football Association, as well as the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture. Kindly stand by for your sports roundup. With the Sport Planet segment, we've come to the end of the midweek edition of Primetime News. Many thanks for joining us. Once more, another reminder that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like, share, and hit the notifications bell to stay posted on the latest happenings locally and globally. Feel free to interact with us in the comment section. Catch us on the morrow for yet another edition of Primetime News. From myself, Michael Madimba, and the entire cast and crew, it's good night.